This week on Inside Boulder News. March has brought more than 300 avalanches to Colorado's high country. Boulder forecasters explain the unusual occurrence. This new system will make volunteering for the city even simpler. And this Boulder pool is getting a facelift. Welcome to Inside Boulder News, your source for all things Boulder. I'm Jocelyn Avendaño. The city of Boulder has thousands of community members that dedicate their time in the city. Last month, the city launched Count Me In Boulder, a one-stop solution for citywide volunteer efforts. With just a couple of clicks, volunteers can easily find all their volunteer projects and opportunities Boulder offers.
Count Me In Boulder is our one-stop shop for volunteerism, and it's going to allow the community to create a profile for themselves, go on, find opportunities that match their skill set and interest. They can track their hours, they can kind of measure what type of impact they're making through their volunteer opportunities.
Margot Josephs is a member of the city's volunteer cooperative team. She, along with other staff members, work together to create a smoother volunteer experience for the city's 6,000 plus volunteers.
This system really helps us do that. It helps us streamline our processes and systems, make it much more simple for the community to be able to find options, translate their skill set from different areas within the city from one department or another. And it really is just a more seamless experience for everyone and lets us talk about our impacts even more.
Count Me In Boulder had its initial launch in February, with departments like Open Space and Mountain Parks and Parks and Recreation spearheading the efforts. The system is currently set to operate citywide in April.
April is the first time that our existing volunteers will be able to use it. And so in May, the community at large will be able to sign up through Count Me In Boulder to participate in all of our month-long volunteer opportunities for community cleanup.
Creating a profile on Count Me In Boulder is simple. All the user needs is their name and email. Volunteers will then have access to countless of volunteer opportunities.
It's really a database and a network that we can share both publicly and across departments to allow us to, match the people who have the best skills and interests with where we really need and where they can make the biggest impact.
In the meantime, the city will be celebrating its thousands of volunteers during Volunteer Appreciation Week on April 7th through the 13th, with the entire month of May dedicated to the annual community cleanup effort. To learn more, please visit bouldercolorado.gov/volunteer. Generations of families in Boulder have enjoyed the waters at Scott Carpenter Pool, but after nearly 53 years of service, the pool is ready to dive into a new look. Construction for this 50-meter pool began earlier this month and is set to be complete by the start of the 2020 summer season. We spoke to the city's Parks and Recreation planner, Doug Godfrey, to get a sneak peek at what the new pool will look like. Big changes are in store for Boulder's Scott Carpenter Pool.
It's been serving the community since 1963 as the aquatics facility, and as part of 2015 aquatics feasibility plan, we found that the facility really has reached the end of its useful life.
The city's Parks and Recreation Department went through an extensive community outreach process for the new design of the pool. The new pool will be funded in part by the Community Culture and Safety Tax and the department's Capital Improvement Fund.
The enhancements here at Scott Carpenter will involve increasing the lap pool from 6 lanes to 10 lanes. We'll have a lazy river, a deep water exercise area, climbing wall. There'll be some tower slides, zero depth entry pool, and a splash pad.
Construction is anticipated to be complete by May of 2020. During the Scott Carpenter Pool's closure, community members can still take advantage of outdoor swimming at the Spruce Pool and Boulder Reservoir.
We anticipate that the playground will remain open, the skate park, the ball fields, and the commuter paths will remain open with some detours during construction.
More information on the Scott Carpenter Pool Enhancement Project can be found by visiting bouldercolorado.gov/parksrec. The first week of March turned out to be an active one for Colorado's high country, producing more than 340 avalanches, several of those covering major highways and trapping motorists. Spencer Logan, an avalanche forecaster with the Colorado Avalanche Information Center, which is based out of Boulder, says it's been an unusual season.
Today we're going through an extremely unusual event. We're seeing avalanches run larger than they have in 50 or more years.
On an average season, Logan says the CIC documents close to 3,200 avalanches. With 2.5 months left to go, the center has already seen well above 2,000 avalanches this season.
So we have a lot of snow out in the mountains. All that snow has been stacked up on some layers down near the ground. Snow that fell in October and November. And it provides a really weak foundation.
A weak foundation, Logan says, is one of the ingredients needed for an avalanche.
So we have weak snow sitting down near the ground. We've got lots and lots of storm snow stacked up on top of that. We just put a really large storm on top of all of that, and it creates a very unsteady stack that's now coming crashing down.
Much of Colorado's high country remains in high avalanche warning. This means that any travel in, near, or below all avalanche terrain is to be avoided, including backcountry skiing.
If you're going out, everybody in your group needs to carry avalanche safety equipment. So that's an avalanche transceiver, avalanche shovel, and avalanche probe. And those three tools work together to help you find somebody who's buried in an avalanche. But the important thing is avalanche avoidance. So understanding what the current conditions are and choosing the terrain that's appropriate for the day and for your skill level is really important.
To get up-to-date forecasts or to get more information on the Colorado Avalanche Information Center, please visit colorado.gov/avalanche. Boulder Junction is a 160-acre redevelopment area being transformed into a mixed-use neighborhood that will include regional transit connections and public spaces. Next week, the city will provide an offering memorandum on a few areas in this property. The week of March 11th, the City of Boulder will have a call for offers for 3 separate land parcels known as the city's 30 Pro project. The 3 quadrants for sale in the 30th and Pearl Street location will be 1, 3, and 4 North. The 3 sites must be developed in coordination and cooperation with Boulder Housing Partners Properties. City staff will be holding 2 presentations to present information about the project and answer any questions. The first presentation will be held on Monday, March 18th from 1 to 3 p.m. in the City Council chambers, and the second presentation on Tuesday, March 26th from 9 to 11 a.m. More information can be found by visiting the address seen on screen. Thank you so much for joining us on this week's edition of Inside Boulder News. If you have pictures, news tips, or events you'd like to see featured, we love to hear from you. Connect with us on Facebook and Twitter. You can also sign up to receive video updates right in your inbox. Just go to boulderchannel8.com and click on subscribe. Have a good week.